Good morning, everyone. Today, we're going to delve into the extraordinary life and art of Frida Kahlo. Her story is one of profound suffering, immense resilience, and breathtaking creativity. We'll explore how, from the hard shell of her suffering, she cultivated the sweet fruit of immortality through her art. This presentation is a visual analysis of the life, pain, and enduring spirit of Mexico's iconic artist, culminating in her poignant final message, Viva la Vida, long live life. Our story begins with the incision, in 1925, a moment when Frida's shell truly began to harden. On September 17 of that year, an 18-year-old Frida was involved in a horrific bus accident. The collision shattered her spine in 3 places and sent a steel handrail piercing through her abdomen. This catastrophic event marked the symbolic death of Tree-Leg Frida, a childhood nickname from her battle with polio, and the birth of an extraordinary painter. Bedbound and grappling with unimaginable pain, she turned to art as her weapon. Out of her 143 works, nearly 1/3 are self-portraits, reflecting her deep introspection. As she famously said, "I interpret my own life. Pain prevents me from retaining a smile." Frida transformed her own body into a canvas, dissecting her physical reality without an ounce of pretense. Here, in The Broken Column, we see her spine replaced by a crumbling ionic pillar, a stark symbol of structural collapse. The numerous nails piercing her skin represent the constant, lingering pain she endured daily. The barren, fissured landscape in the background echoes her broken body. This powerful work, painted while she was wearing a steel orthopedic corset, externalizes the medical gaze upon her. It draws on the Mexican retablo tradition of devotional paintings but subverts it, depicting suffering without the divine cure, using art itself as her mechanism for survival. Frida also forged an armor of identity through her deep connection to Mexicanidad. Following the Mexican Revolution, the nation sought to reclaim its identity from European influence through a movement known as indigenismo. Kahlo embraced this wholeheartedly, adopting the traditional dress of the Tehuana women, a powerful, matriarchal society. This was far more than mere fashion, it was political armor and a profound statement of her Mexican heritage. Though the surrealist André Breton claimed her for his movement, Kahlo famously rejected the label, stating, "I never painted dreams. I painted my own reality." Kahlo's unique worldview was also profoundly shaped by Aztec dualism, particularly the concept of Ometeotl, the dual god representing the unity of opposites. This isn't about conflict, but the necessary coexistence of forces like male and female, light and dark, life and death. In this captivating work, we see how light, representing day, and dark, representing night, cradle the earth, which in turn cradles Frida. It illustrates a universe not governed by opposition, but by the beautiful and essential interplay of these contrasting elements. To further connect her personal history with the rich tapestry of Mexico's past, Kahlo populated her paintings with artifacts and figures from her heritage, often depicted as guardians of the underworld. On the left, we see Coatlicue, the formidable Aztec mother goddess associated with the cyclical nature of birth and death. For Frida, death was not a terrifying finality, but a cultural companion. On the right is Xolotl, the hairless dog, who in Aztec mythology, guides the dead through the underworld. These animals became spiritual companions for Frida during her periods of profound isolation. Her tumultuous marriage to the muralist Diego Rivera was famously described as the union of the elephant and the dove. This painting, The Two Fridas, created during her divorce in 1939, powerfully illustrates her divided self. On the left, the European Frida, dressed in a white Victorian gown, the one Diego no longer loved, reveals a broken, bleeding heart. On the right, the Tehuana Frida, wearing the traditional dress Diego adored, has a whole heart. In other works, Kahlo even depicted herself cradling an infant-sized Diego, becoming the mother he needed, just as he was the child she could never bear. The 1925 accident left Frida unable to carry a pregnancy, and the pain of her miscarriages became a central, raw, and taboo-breaking theme in her art. She found ancient inspiration in the Aztec goddess Tlazolteotl, the deity of purification and birth, often depicted in squatting labor. Kahlo appropriated this powerful imagery to dignify her own suffering. Returning to our watermelon metaphor, the seeds represent the promise of rebirth. Unable to have biological children, Kahlo planted her seeds through her art, ensuring a different, yet profound, kind of immortality. By the 1950s, Frida's health had devastatingly collapsed. She endured 7 spine surgeries in 1950 alone, and in 1953, her right leg was amputated due to gangrene. Yet, her spirit remained indomitable. She famously attended her first solo exhibition in Mexico on a stretcher, bed and all, refusing to hide her reality. As pneumonia weakened her in July 1954, she wrote a final, poignant entry in her diary, echoing the duality that defined her life: "I hope the exit is joyful, and I hope never to return." This brings us to Viva la Vida, Long Live Life. Painted just days before her death, this image is not one of surrender. In Mexican tradition, watermelons are often offerings to the deceased. By painting them, Kahlo was, in a profound sense, preparing her own offering. The hard shell of suffering she built protected the sweet fruit, her vibrant spirit and her incomparable art, so that it could ultimately be sliced open and shared with the world. Her life teaches us that pain is inevitable, but how we paint it, how we choose to respond to it, is entirely optional. Viva la Vida.